All right, welcome to the Indie Bandits Twitch and YouTube channel. My name's Jimmy, and I'm here with Joe.
Good evening, Jimmy.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. It's Friday, and I love Fridays for the same reasons everyone else loves Fridays. For those who work Monday to Friday, that there's no more work for 2 days. It's the most time I'll get off until I have to go back to work on Monday. But yeah,
Cool.
puts me in a good mood.
Good, good.
Yourself?
Yeah, well, the sun is shining very nicely here, so yeah, I'm pleased as well. End of the week, 2 days off, sun's out, having a beer, playing some games.
Very nice.
Fun way
There's no
there.
sun here.
No?
I thought I was thinking about that. We had a big rainstorm today, and I walked up the big hill because I'm English and weird, which is why when you're in the sunny climes of southern Spain all the time, when it rains, I get a little excited and have to go out in it and just experience it for a bit, which obviously you don't do when you're back in Blighty, I'm guessing.
No. Well, this must be one of the 3 days a year where there's sun here and there's not in southern Spain, so
Yes, we're just borrowing it.
yeah.
You'll get it back.
It's cooled down a bit on the way up, though, I've noticed. It's not quite sort of 20, 25 to 30.
No, it's still 20 odd degrees, yeah, Celsius, of course, and but with decent amount of rain. But it's refreshing, especially if you're like occasionally running like I do. It's a good opportunity to go out for a longer run if it starts raining, because you're just not going to end up being cremated like you do in the height of summer here.
Yeah, no, it gets a bit oppressive, the heat over there for me, for my fair skin.
Your alabaster skin.
Yeah, it's
So
too much for
where
me.
so where were we? Because I've noted that last time round we popped out for a bit, popped down to the shops, and we left York unlocked. I
Yeah,
think.
made a critical error with York. Built up a nice army, then left York and had to spend most of that. Oh, well, I'm getting a book thrown at us here. Don't die. Nice. Um, had to spend most of the rest of that stream taking York back from just stepping outside and letting them in.
We did. We left the door on the snack, didn't we?
We did.
And the Danes thought that was an invitation to come in and just
Yeah.
make
The
themselves
one
at home,
silver
which they
lining
did.
from it, which I will take because I need to take any silver lining I can get out of that situation, was that the Danes had nowhere to run, so every single one of them was taken out inside the walls. If they'd been outside, they probably would have run away, regrouped, and come back. So I guess it was a way to eliminate the entire Danish army rather than just a portion of it. But anyway, I'd prefer to have not done that.
Well, I think it's vaguely historically accurate. No, there was a big like Viking contingent in York. Obviously, I know this is about like 700, 800 years later. I'm guessing we're currently in I think we're in the year 1256.
Let's have a look.
I
We are
think
in the year
12,
1256. Yeah.
Does it actually say that? Hello,
Yeah, right,
Ruben. And he says hello to his favorite bandits. That's very nice.
What about the
I
Wet
believe not.
Bandits
They're called.
from Home Alone, though? I don't
Don't
think
remind them of all the other famed and awesome bandits throughout
we're
history.
surely not at Wet Bandits level.
I don't know. They were pretty useless. I mean, they
They
were
were,
much
but
loved
very
for their
entertaining.
entertainment value. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think they were necessarily good bandits.
They weren't. They weren't. Yeah, they were
And
the bad
as
guys, but they
Ruben
had
rightly
like a
says,
fantastic moment in the second one. I mean, well, both of them with the screams that Marv could produce. It's worth watching
yeah,
the movies just for the
that's
screams.
yeah. But I'd maintain we're better than the wet bandits because we're not breaking into houses with children in them. Well, I'm not. I hope you're not when
I
we're
think
not doing this.
the
James.
average population in Stanhope is about 75, so there's not many children around here.
Or, yeah, so we're not breaking into kids' houses.
No,
Is that-
no. We'll leave that to the Wet
No.
Bandits. That's their domain. Ours is streaming indie games and retro games on Twitch. We've each got our niche, don't we?
If you want to put through a DM, Rudin, to us on Twitter, I can get back to you on what our stream schedule is going forwards with indie games and that, because come July it's our sort of quarterly review, though we're not as serious as that, but every 3 months do like to have a check in, see what's working, what's not over on Indie Bandits. And start of July we're looking to do some newish things with the streams, sort of like double down on the streams. We've put the podcast on hiatus at the minute, and we've just done something new today as well over on the website. We've got the Kickstarter Watch article series that we've started. So that's just a little monthly listicle. I hate that word because it sounds too much like the word that you thought it sounded like. But little listicle of Kickstarter projects, and well, not exclusively Kickstarter, but time-dependent crowdfunding projects. So just an opportunity to give a little spotlight to indie devs who are currently looking for funding from, I guess, crowds of people. But yeah, and over here, obviously where we are now in this stream, this is Jimmy and I use this stream, one, for Jimmy to show me his experience and experienced and beloved game franchise, and try a few things out. So we use these regular streams just to try and
test the waters a bit.
Test the waters, because it's not as bad if we cock up on Twitch if we're just playing not nobody's game, but not community members' game, as it were.
I think I'm gonna do a Cairo here, Joe. I'm gonna leave Alexandria and then attack it because they're about to riot.
Just leave the door on the latch.
Yeah, just let the populace take it over and then come back and absolutely hammer them next turn.
I'll get the Twitters up if you've got the Abadiques. I'll open I'll get your stuff up here, Rudin, whilst Jimmy's leaving Alexandria undefended. But I should have sent so long. I'll make sure we'll follow you there. I'll just chuck the game in. Make a cheeky note of that in
yeah, it'd be fun to get going with playing some of the community's demos of indie games. I think that'll be good fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking obviously starting over the summer. We were talking on a previous stream about the idea of start with what is tentatively called Demo Disc Live, where we'll do like maybe like a 5-game, not expose, a 5-game variety show, as it were, of games featured in the demo disc articles we'd been doing, and play through them, and hopefully get like a few devs together in the chat at the same time, so they can have a bit of bants about each of their games, so they can each, kind of make it like, I guess, like show and tell for their games, but we'll be the ones playing them. But obviously in the chat, if the devs want to attend, then they can, say, oh, this is my game, I did this because of X, Y, Z, etc. And they can pass feedback off to one another and that kind of thing. Bit of a chinwag, as Ruben says. Exactly. So it'd be nice to have a reason for everyone to come together, because obviously you're probably never more interested in the stream than when it's your game being played. But obviously, I think having a few people showing off their stuff showing off a few different people's stuff at the same time is probably going to be better than just doing individual games, because I think you'll get more of a draw if more people are involved. But like I said, like show and tell, or like a school talent show, as it were. But yeah, so we're looking to get that started and get all the community games played more frequently as we get the hang of this Twitch malarkey, which is
Just
which looks really easy. Go on, James.
Just point this out that we've been asked to join the crusade, and the target of the crusade is Toulouse. So Hugh got himself all the way over to. Actually, he might be dead now. I've just thought about that. He might be dead, but he got himself all the way over to the Middle East, and now they've asked him to go all the way back to France on a crusade.
Well, that'd be handy, isn't it? Because we wanted to make up some ground in Europe because we're not doing very well.
Yeah, but I want someone in England to join the crusade, not someone who's literally across the other side of the map.
Does it have to be Hugh, though?
They've asked the king to join. Yep, King Hugh over here.
Well,
it's 60 years old as well. Hugh shouldn't be travelling that far.
Hugh should get a bit of a wriggle on. Hello, Sam, in the chat. Rudin asking what we've been playing off stream. I think at the minute most of my crack-ons, it's been a bit triple A because, well, obviously Jimmy, Archie, and I do enjoy a bit of Rainbow Six Siege, though we're horrendously shit at it. And
getting better, though. I do maintain we are getting better at that game.
Yeah, but it's not like we're a fine cheese. Like, we're not getting better as time goes on. We're just getting better than really, really awful at that game. Which is, it's just hard to find a kind of, like, a cooperative multiplayer game. Like, I don't think there's many of them. And even this one, which we do enjoy, I think suffers from the same kind of stinky online experience that I really dislike. Sometimes you can get through an entire evening of playing it and you've had nothing, and other times you'll get people who just take it far too seriously and think you're a low level, so you automatically should be good, which is counterintuitive, I guess. But we wanted to try Squadrons as well because it was the free game on PS4, and Secret Bandit, Dom, and Archie are looking at playing that because that's another sort of squad-based game. But really, probably the best one, we went back to I wanted to say let's starve.
Let's starve, the opposite of the game.
don't starve together. Yeah, we were playing a bit of that last night. That's an excellent game, and we've had a few discussions of whether we prefer that to Siege.
Well, I prefer Siege, but yes, the game is very good.
But it's like comparing. Is it apples and oranges? Is that the expression? It's not apples and pears because that's stairs.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that the expression, comparing apples to oranges?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am very much a sort of chill online experience kind of person, and you like games that like really get you amped up, don't you, James? You like entertainment first. Like, you don't like, inverted commas, experience games, as it were.
I don't like them as much. I prefer ones which I feel like I'm playing a game,
doing something. Yeah. Whereas I can kind of sit back and forget the world and like the immersion of just something like, especially like Don't Starve and Minecraft. Like, I love games where one, you've got to just stay alive and just manage something, and you can get given like a mundane task to be getting on with, and just that be your thing. And like, some people like to take these games and make them I don't know, like more entertaining by doing things and seeing what kind of like emergent gameplay can come out of them. And I'm happy to just sit and like break rocks and just like kind of get into like a real zen thing, like smashing rocks in Minecraft. Like, my little brother's like, we'll go do this and we'll talk to this guy and we'll do that, and I'm like, nah, just leave me to mine. I'll pop up for some food. If you can just make sure there's some food when I get back out of my giant hole I've dug, then I think I'll be happy. But I don't want to like travel halfway across the map and go on an adventure. I just want to chill and smash some rocks. And I think Don't Starve has that as well, but I guess a little more high intensity than Minecraft, because that game is trying to kill you. Where I think in Minecraft, even in the survival mode, if you just want to, if you don't want to go and like poke the bear proverbially, then you can just sit and mine. Like, the game doesn't force you forwards.
Yeah, No, I like that game. I've been playing a lot of Mechanicus as well. It's a XCOM style
Is that
game
the Warhammer one?
set in the 40k
No.
universe, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Where you play as the Adeptus Mechanicus against Necrons. It's that's really good actually. Probably one of the best realized sort of 40k type games. Just for it, just aesthetically, soundtrack wise, like it sits really well within that whole universe. So yeah, I've been playing that quite a bit. It's good fun. I do like an XCOM style game. Oh god.
Oh, so yeah, are they tactics? I guess they call them the tactics games. There's an excellent indie one called Into the Breach, which is not at all like XCOM. It's more like chess with big spider robots. But it is it's one of these games where there's like you can get it so wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh my god, I'm so stupid, and you make a move and then you can just watch the whole. You know the second you've done it that the game is over for you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sam says in the chat that it started and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Moors, because I think that's just my accent. I can't call them the. Is that a Geordie thing? Calling them Moors?
The Moors?
Moors. No, it doesn't sound right to me. I'm going to call them the Moors. The Moros. But yeah, and started a campaign with the Moors. We discussed doing this campaign with the Moors, didn't we?
We did.
We thought it would only be fair because I'm based in southern Spain and it's a lot of Moorish stuff going on over here.
Yeah,
there's a lot of history.
we considered it, didn't we?
Occupation of Spain, but we thought it would be wrong not to do this campaign as England and recreate the dream of every medieval Englishman to control and have dominion over all of medieval Europe.
Yep.
Ruden says he's been playing Faster Than Light. Is that the one on the spaceship? Am I thinking of the right one? It is. Yeah, I think often called FTL, if I'm not mistaken.
Sam's a Brit.
Are we in trouble?
Hello, Brit. Whereabouts in England are you? Oh, well, I say Brit. Sorry, I should not.
This is what I was going to question. It's the words you don't say.
Whereabouts in Britain are you from?
Exactly. Are you stating Brit to specifically be clear that you're not English? Because that's...
we may have made a mistake there.
Oh,
no, Sheffield, that's all right.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
That's it's closer our neck of the woods.
Are you a football fan, Sam? Because it's not been a good year for Sheffield.
It ruins in London, which I guess is has been a good year for at least
it's been a middling year for London teams. It's been a terrible year for Sheffield teams.
Yeah, but I don't know. Technically, well, not technically. I am a Middlesbrough fan, so it's not like we've had a great time. Best thing happened at the Riverside was the England match the other night because we saw some fans in a stadium, which was good to see. In a stadium that even before the pandemic struggled to get any fans in it.
That's only because of the poisonous air that no one's allowed to breathe.
That there was some footage over Middlesbrough during the game. I sent you a screenshot of it whilst I was watching the I was watching the match on telly, and they cut to a sunset over the River Tees and the Riverside Stadium, and I'm gonna hope it was just some mist, but it could have equally been smog, and the sun, bless it, was trying so hard to break through this thick cloud hanging over the stadium. It looked like it was sunny outside of the smog, but like the stereotype of Middlesbrough was upheld during this coverage. But it wasn't an actual stadium. It was nice to see after so many months of just watching things that exist, well, for the money really, but exist for spectators. Like, this is what like the top level of sport is. It's entertainment, and entertainment without the actual audience is very, very...
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Weird. Arun says, friend works security at football grounds until the pandemic. That's a shame, though. Well, hopefully it's coming back, so kind of work.
You'd hope he'd be first in line to
recovery
get his job back, yeah.
We'll see. Well, over your neck of the wood, well, back in the UK, it looks like things are going sort of as planned. I mean, it's a positive shift, I would say.
It's moving in the right direction, isn't it?
Exactly. And here in Spain, much the in a similar way as well. But I think we've had a different experience of all this. To use back in Blighty, we had like a very strict first lockdown, where like we just like weren't allowed out. You weren't even allowed out for a walk. Like we were full on like apocalypse mode for like 7 to 8 weeks, and then we were allowed out, and everything sort of like reopened in a very limited capacity. Whereas it seemed in the UK it kind of simmered for a bit longer, with a lot of non-essential stuff closed for much longer. And yeah, so I it's hard to say which I'd prefer, you know, because it definitely sucked just being stuck in your house all the time. And at the time we were living in a 1-bedroom flat on the ground floor in a tiny street which got no natural light. There was not a single way out of that flat to actually see the sky. You couldn't. There was no window that showed you the sky from it. So that wasn't good. But then once we were allowed out, and it's the south of Spain, so you know, walks are nice, and bars and restaurants have been open for quite a long time. Even though, you know, for a while it was only 4 people allowed and only outside. But we've got a lot of outside stuff here, whereas I think the UK doesn't have that many beer gardens. I know there's quite a few of them, but you know, this kind of crack on with like outdoor dining and stuff being the first thing allowed. I was thinking, where do they have that? Because yeah, literally every bar and restaurant has like an outdoor space. You're in the minority not to have it.
It'd be a bit weird if you didn't have it in the south of Spain.
Yeah, it's like you gotta make the most of it, and especially now when it's we're living in a world where you don't get that kind of opportunity. But yeah, it's all looking up for, you know, touch wood. We've all been all right. You know, no one I know has been horribly affected by this. You know, a few people
I've gotten away with it a little bit,
but still got the health kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just like such a Geordie fishwife kind of thing to stay. Well, honey, at least you still got your health.
It's true though.
It is. I'll take that. So, though I wasn't that sure whether I did still have my health when I was walking up the hill today. I was like, I got like really faint and really tired. I'm like, oh sweet Jesus, like I've overdone it here. Need some scran when I get back in. So got myself a cheeky sandwich and a bar of white chocolate with bits of Oreos in it. Excellent post-walk snack.
Anything chocolate, anytime.
Yeah. So we chin at the minute.
Chinning some rebels. Some filthy rebels.
Stop being rebels. Rebel scum. That's the go-to when I was playing Squadron. They love including the line "rebel scum" in any Star Wars franchise majigger.
I want to know where the rebels get their uniforms from, because they're always in grey. So it's like, you know, the rebels must be going to like a very particular tailor.
Or maybe they just
for?
wash out the dye of their other
Maybe.
crack on.
Just
Whoever
imagine
they
them in the
defect from,
shop.
they're just like they nash off to like the rebel tailor who just de-dyes their clothes. Is that right? I'd say bleach. Guess maybe they just bleach it and it's just dirty. Because I've got some, definitely got some football shorts that started out white, but they're very grey now because I've had them for years. Derby County ones for some reason as well. I think my dad gave them because he found them in like a sale in like Sports Soccer or Sports Direct or whatever it's called now, and it was just super cheap. So I've got some really old Derby County shorts with the number 14 on them. Don't know who played for Derby at that time and who was number 14.
Number 14 Derby.
Number 14 Derby from like 2003 or something like that. Couldn't tell you. I mean, obviously with the glory of the internet, could look it up, but I'm not that bothered. Point being is they're super grey, they're rebel shorts. Those Derby County folk. This looks a bit like Middlesbrough at the minute, by the way.
I think it's a bit too clear. I wouldn't be able to see these trees if it was Middlesbrough. Be like, where is everyone?
True, but it looks a bit misty over the top.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Enjoy your company, Rudin. Everyone's gnashing off to entertain Friday night. Entertaining, I'm guessing.
Friday night entertaining.
It's
been a long time since anyone's done stuff like that.
Yeah.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Oh, we've got a negative Nelly's positive now, isn't he?
I know, he's been positive for ages now. He's not said anything negative. Alright, how I get out.
We'll see. We'll ask Sam in the chat. Are you a dev or a fan? It's a bit like
indie gamer or indie dever?
Yeah, like asking ASL in the early days of internet chat. If you remember chat rooms, and then everyone would just be like ASL question mark, and then they would follow it with like forward slashes. Do you remember this? In age, sex, location, you had to.
Yeah.
Which is fortunately something that didn't bleed into real life. I mean, because I guess in a lot of cases you can understand roughly how old someone is, potentially what gender they are, and they're there with you. So location's a bit redundant by that point if that's stood in front of you. But I guess on Zoom calls, if you're using a big like bear filter or something like that.
A bear filter?
You could probably, like when that guy turned himself into a cat on the lawyer who turned himself into a cat and assured the people that he was not a cat.
Like, yeah.
He's like, I'm not a cat, as if the people were like going, oh, we asked for a lawyer to come on this call, not a cat.
Not a cat?
A
What is this
talking
cat turned up for?
Where did this cat study law?
I'm not too sure about this cat.
I loved the panic in his voice when they asked him whether he was when he's like trying to convince them that he's not a cat.
Yeah.
Much better than like politicians exposing themselves and stuff like that. Like cat filters are the fun side of like Zoom calls. But I think there was a Canadian politician who has been in trouble twice now for like being naked on Zoom calls.
Being a cat.
It's almost just like, I mean, I guess if he's a cat, he's technically naked as well. But no, this I forget the guy's name, but he was doing a whole thing where it was like, I'm really sorry. Like, yeah, you're really sorry, but how did it happen again? Like, if you like,
oh no, it's happened again.
If your pants rip and it's like just out of your control, but I mean, even then, what are you doing like aggressive lunges on your Zoom call for? Like, there's no situation.
What do you do in your Zoom calls? All of my Zoom calls are nothing but aggressive lunging.
But, well, then you probably have a suitable attire to do said lunges.
Yeah.
There's no way attire. That your bits.
It's the only way to do aggressive lunges, Joe, as this Canadian person clearly knows.
Oh man, no, because I don't even know what the crack on was. It was just like he basically went, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then it happened again, and he's like, "I'm really sorry." That was sort of it. I'm guessing Canadians might be quite forgiving, but it just seemed very odd that not only did it happen the first time, it happened a second time, and there wasn't any kind of like explanation as to why. Like, it's almost like he's apologizing for wanting to do it and doing it, not like for a situation that occurred in which he exposed himself on Zoom. Anyway, welcome to Friday night. We're streaming and we're talking about Canadian politicians getting their bits out on Zoom calls. Which is not the weirdest thing we've had a conversation about on these streams.
Probably not.
No. Last time we were chatting about early morning television of the exciting type.
Oh yeah.
And I think previous to that we were talking about that campaign slogan saying "You can't lick our dick," which still
Yeah.
proper gets me. Yes, Richard Nixon's beloved campaign slogan. I think was "You can't lick our dick."
Hugh died
Did he die on his way to the?
on his
you
way.
fail the crusade now.
Well, now it's just like I can't pass that that mission, so I'm not gonna get the the penalty because it's seems a bit silly. Really.
Can you still rope in people to chin people in Toulouse?
I could probably join the crusade. I think
Because that gets you some extra fellas, doesn't it, to fight folk?
King Walter the Cuckold. God.
Oh,
Why everyone's a cuckold, aren't they?
Hail, my king.
They're off fighting all these crusades all the time, and then I guess their missus is being left at home and is getting bored. I have no idea. It's an Odeon.
Sire.
I guess that was sort of the style at the time.
Hail, my king.
Just
Oh yeah, join the crusade.
join the crusade and let your wife sleep with other men.
Hail, my king.
That old chestnut.
Yes, my liege.
Ah, yeah. So you get all the Crusader guys, and then we can take Toulouse, can't we?
Yep. Well, we can try anyway. Of course, now
But
I've had
who's
to
it under the
leave
control
Dublin.
of? Because surely it must be. If it's under the. If it's under the control of, I'm assuming the Muslims.
No, this is just the French because he doesn't like the French anymore.
Oh, so the crusade doesn't even have to fully be
No, I think
like
it's
religious based.
unless
It's just whoever's just not
No,
currying
it
the
is.
favor of the Pope.
Yeah, it's just owned by La
French.
Francais.
That would give them. Would that not help us move back to get Rennes and I guess Bordeaux's in this as well between
Yeah,
Toulouse
Bordeaux will be
and
here, won't it?
Rennes, about halfway up to the left.
Halfway up to the left.
Hail, my king.
On left,
Honor, sire.
just off. Nah, I'm not doing. The
Just stop it.
Fuck that.
Let's
Nah,
just nip that in the bud
Joe,
right there.
stop it. Yeah, we'll just stop right there with the.
It's enough of that.
Felt like doing it. Yes. Felt like it, and then I started. I'm like, I can't be fucked. Nah, can't be. The week's been too long
Hail,
to
my king.
to start changing the way I talk for bit.
By God's will.
And I mean a bit, both in a short period of time and
Glory.
something that's supposed to be funny,
Victory.
which I feel it would have been neither.
Would have been
It would have went on.
hilarious.
It would have just went on and not even been
Hail,
close.
my king.
Don't know. I can't do regional accents. Like when I try and do New Zealand, it comes out South African. And when I try and do Australia, it comes out Cockney. And when I try and do Cockney, it comes out who the hell knows. And just realised it's not for me. The whole impersonating accents thing. I'll never be the next. I was going to say Alistair McGowan. Who else? Are there any other people that do impressions? Like,
Oh my god, everyone's just dying left, right, and centre.
wasn't King Walter
Oh,
here just for a
nuts.
minute?
Now they're all gonna freaking revolt, and bloody hell, man.
Where's the new king? Can you not run him our?
I don't know. He must have been like
Hail, my king.
Prince John's all the way up there. Ralph the Wrathful. That's hilarious.
As a
King
Wreck-It
Paul.
Ralph.
Hail, my king.
He's called King Paul. Right. Well, I joined the Crusades, so I'm just gonna disband all these units and stop paying for them.
I thought they were free. If they were, are they just cheaper?
They're just cheaper. Actually, the upkeep is now.
The-
Yeah.
Sire.
But no
Free.
point. No point having them.
Well, you may as well have them in case they. Can you not
No,
Right,
literally
run a king?
this red line means they're gonna like
not do it?
basically disband over the next couple of turns because I'm not going
Ah,
on
right.
the crusades. So never
So
mind
they're-
about that. That was a waste of my time.
I think crusades are a waste of
Bloody
most people's
crusades.
time. Already crusades. You want some birthdays, by the way? I've got,
Go on then, yeah.
today's birthdays.
Sounds
You'll
like we're
probably
doing
know
a
all of
Saturday
these.
morning TV show, doesn't it? Like, and
We got
little Johnny's birthday's today. Little Johnny at home.
little Johnny Huberdo. It's his
Oh.
birthday today.
Uh,
We've got a Johnny.
Johnny Huberdo. That's
you
Florida Panthers forward.
I believe so. Yeah, ice hockey
you
player
watch
at
it,
least. In the,
A fine day to sail.
I think he's at the Panthers. Yes, he is.
Full sail.
Yeah, Johnny Huberdo. He's the youngest of our birthdays. There are very few actually. I was thank God, erroneously at the start of when I was looking up some birthdays for today, I looked for the 6th of June. There are very few famous people born on the 6th of June. So if you are born on the 6th of June, become famous and you'll be in a very exclusive club, because the Wikipedia page for 6th of June had very few people in it. And I think even less. I think there's just not many parents are doing the nasty over Christmas. Oh, when that's terrible maths, Joe. Around Halloween. Halloween doesn't get anyone's rocks off, I guess, because like late September, October would put you like 9 months would be June. So no, that's not happening. Whereas I think when we start this, and in like February and May and March and April and all those months between February and May, which I just forgot, all those months are quite busy. And I think even in like my life, people I know, there's a lot of February birthdays and a lot of March birthdays. Like whatever's going on 9 months before February and March,
This summer.
people are loving it.
It's
People
like the weather
are
gets
getting
better.
down.
Everyone's like, yeah.
Everyone's like,
Let's
"Oh,
have
it's sunny.
kids."
Should we go inside and shag? Should we get out of this horrid sun?" And
Well, it's a bit warmer
May
outside, isn't it?
babies. yeah. So, yeah, but it seems as we're progressing on, fewer and fewer bands being born, at least famous ones. But we've got another one, Ben Stokes. You should know this one.
English
That's the ones that
cricketer.
I think you should. Yes, apparently New Zealand English cricketer. So I don't know if that's a. But yeah, he does represent England in the cricket. Lucas Podolski, another sort of
Polish German striker.
yeah, but he's only down. Wikipedia only puts him down as a German footballer, even though I think there's definitely some. Well, I think overtly some Polish in him, isn't there? I mean, not just the name, but
Yeah,
his
I know he
heritage
is,
is
yeah.
Polish.
Heritage is Polish, yeah.
No, this is a. Thought of get a nice mix of sports people. We've also got Alexei Navalny. Do you remember
Ooh.
him? He's been in the news a bit.
No.
You will. He's the well, Alexei. You can probably guess
Is he Russian?
nationality. He is Russian. So I guess the most recent, most famous Russian that isn't Putin in like Western news. He's the the opposition leader who was imprisoned and went on hunger strike and got put in a coma because he might have been poisoned, and then he got moved to Berlin. That fella, I think it was Berlin, Germany at least, to get treated. Then he went back to Russia and they imprisoned him, and then he stopped eating for like 2 months.
Seems like that's a vicious
Yeah,
cycle.
You'll have seen him. You'll have seen him in the news. Yeah, well, it's his birthday, so I hope he's having a better day than he has been, because he's been not having a good time.
Not been having a great time of it.
He has not. And the last one, Russell Brand. It's his birthday today.
Right, oh.
So I have mixed feelings about Russell Brand. I think he makes a lot of good points, but I just hate his presentation. Just like, yeah, we get it, stuff. Like, you don't have to speak like Jack the Ripper or some shit. Like, what is,
But
like
that's part of his shtick, isn't it? He's
It is, but like I've seen him do stuff, and he's like he's very he's very funny. But there's just certain points where, and even when he's like speaking outside of like a comedy setting, he has like he makes some excellent points. He's like he's no divvy, but
No, no.
there's moments where you're like,
Shut up.
do you just bring a thesaurus with you everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any need for that? Like, there was another word that is more commonly used than the one you decided to pick that you could have just said.
But he's showing off, Joe.
Like that. It was. Well, that's what it feels like. Like, I get using like a specific word from a specific register if, like, it's the best word for what you're trying to explain, but other times it's like you could have just said the word that everyone says to mean that, and you didn't. Because you made an active choice to just say the flippin' Ponzi word instead of the word that everyone would be quite happy with. But yeah, happy birthday to you, Russell Brand, you unrelenting nut.
So you're a big fan of Russell Brand then, Joe?
I actually think he's funny. It's just the more I think about him, the more annoyed I get. So I try not to think about him very often. So I can happily just like enjoy his comedy and his points, but just I think there's definitely like a limit.
There's a
on
limit to how much
Russell Brand
Russell
you can deal.
Yeah.
How much Russell you can brand. Yeah. So these lovely people are enjoying their birthdays today because that's the day they're born on. They don't have much to say in it. They're not the queen.
Who are they shooting at? They're shooting all the way over there.
Right from the back up in there.
That's some range they've got on them there. I'll just run over here then. Let's go attack these guys.
These Spanish ballistas. I feel it should be ballista.
I don't understand how me leaving
this
means the gate goes up and never comes back down again. That was
like you almost like. Well, do you remember that guy in a previous stream who messed up the whole gate thing?
Oh yeah, he's been sacked from his duties. Although to be fair, you
we
cannot
should
get
get
the
him
staff,
back.
can you? Because the next guy's done a pretty bad job as well.
Folk are terrible at.
I feel it's a
the
very
gate.
easy job in medieval Europe as well. Like your job is to lift the gate up when someone we want to go out or in is coming out or in. Otherwise, leave it closed, mate. Say,
Yeah, I'm guessing like its default. I'm guessing its default state is like down.
Yeah, I just like now
Like
it's
if you
open.
don't do anything, the gate shuts, right? Like you just you roll it up and then you put it on a latch or something like that to hold it open. I assume that's how it works. Like it rolls up on a chain that like clasps into place and then it doesn't fall back down on you. But all you have to do is remove that and then it just drops shut, right?
Yeah.
So you really, I mean, at most you have two jobs, or you have one. Like you pull the gate open, and then you let it drop down. That's the two bits of crack on with your
gate job.
with your gatekeeping job.
This fella you say holding on, isn't he? Look at him. Last one there.
The last Spanish ballista. I like that one just going for a walk around the.
Gone down. Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. This isn't remotely fun.
This is not what I signed up for.
I love how the
I signed
Spanish are
up
just going
to
for the
see
walls
the world.
while leaving me spearmen to just slaughter their artillery. And it's like,
Well, they clearly didn't like each other that much. They're just like, nah, out of here, man. Done. Look, we came here. We have one job. We're gonna put these ladders up on them walls.
okay, time to run back. Peg it back.
How? I assume if you're not carrying ladders, you're faster, right?
Yeah.
They'll beat them back, yeah.
I don't care about them. They're gonna get shot and then killed on the walls. It's more just
Oh shit, yeah.
get back
totally.
inside the
totally
walls.
missed. Them fellas are just waiting. Oh, they're gonna get done pretty quick, aren't they?
They've got shields and armor, so they might survive a little bit longer.
Yeah, but are they really going to be in any shape to fight by the time they actually make it up the walls? I
Hopefully
feel
not.
they'll be so. I assume they'll be so thin on the ground by the time they.
Repel the attack.
We've lost a few, but they are very heavily armored, and it's wet as well, so the arrows don't
Fire
do as
arrows
much
don't work.
damage.
Well,
Get these though.
we're about to find out. I do like the Spanish flag in this.
The castle.
Castilian
Yeah.
castle, I guess. They don't have as swanky horses though. I mean, that's swanky. Don't get me wrong. I'm not no horse disparager, but I feel I've seen swankier horses in this. Like there's the ones that look full Harlequin. These guys are, they've phoned in Harlequin horses. Why don't they? I know it's probably not worthwhile, but they could decorate the tower, couldn't they? Make it look nice, make it
Yeah,
match.
I mean they stuck these
They do everyone else up.
little spears
I mean,
out
they
this
probably
side,
get-
trying to look mean,
Our
but
men are winning the battle. If
just
we
looks
They
like a
must get them
half-heart
from the
effort.
same.
we will smash the enemy.
Yeah, I feel they should just get the, get the guy who makes them, because I'm assuming it's the same guy for everyone, because all these siege towers look the same.
Yeah, there we go. They're gonna go down like a sack of tatties in a second, though.
Oh, these half-assed
No
horses.
longer ours. The enemy have
What?
taken them.
He says we've lost the walls.
How have we lost the gateway? Oh, right here, with units on either side. What are you talking about?
But I assume we can take it back. That's not.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get me
Unchangeable.
slightly better men up on there.
We must repel them.
All right, fellas,
Lord, the
start
tide
running.
of battle seems to
There
have
we
turned
go.
against us. We
And
must
you.
act and halt this turn of events.
So are we just leaving them to come down the walls and then chin them on the ground?
No, I'm gonna send me knights up there to chin them on the walls.
All right.
Oh, these guys are actually doing all right.
Yeah. Are they against archers or just? All right. I thought we had
Just
archers
spearmen.
up on the wall.
We do, but that's them there. I'm gonna
They've
get
gnashed off now.
I'm gonna get my knights up on the wall to attack their knights. Oh dear, they have a lot of knights. But
I thought this one looked like a bit of a sure thing, but it looks like it's going to be if we win, it's going to be quite costly, isn't it? It seems like
probably they've got a slightly better army and it's a little bit bigger as well. So, but let's start
I
shooting at
thought
them
we
from
had
the sides.
it looked
yeah.
it looked like we had quite a lot at the start. I mean, obviously we'll have less as it goes on, but I thought we had a pretty numerous army when it started. But
Yeah,
I'm guessing
yeah.
they have a lot of like upgraded shit.
They've just got better men, but now I'm shooting from the side, so it should be
They should start leveling it out.
should do all right. I'm not sure how these knights haven't all gone down yet, considering they are. There we go. They're starting to collapse now.
So what do the wiggles on the flags mean? Like, is there a reason they bounce up and down in like erratic fashion?
I
Does
think
that
it's
mean
just if you're
anything, or
if you're
just-
clicking, if that's just shows the unit that's highlighted.
Ah, right. I thought it must be telegraphing something, surely, because it's like you could see them. Ah, right, yeah. So it's the active unit just like bounces up and down. I can imagine that that changed in later games, or maybe it didn't. Maybe they just like it worked. Let's
I'm
stick
not
with
sure.
it.
Not sure what they were going for, but
When I've been playing this is the thing I've struggled with, like what's going on. That it like obviously when I don't have to like think about it and you're playing it, like I can much more easily see what's happening. But when I'm playing it myself, I find it quite noisy. I guess you would say the battlefield is not.
yeah,
They've got their little flags, and it's not very clear. Other than that, like bouncy up and down thing for the one that you've selected, and I think there's some like shading through the flag to indicate their health or something. Does that happen, or have I imagined that?
Oh, I don't know if that is the case.
Oh, that's their standard when you're on the map mode. Sorry, the standard fills up like to indicate size, doesn't it, or strength
Oh,
or
right,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But not on the battles themselves, which can make it quite. I know you've got your little bar at the bottom, but I feel like they could have done more to make the whole thing a little clearer. And they've got all this stuff going on,
Only intervention by the
like with those
Almighty
like upward
for a
triangles that you
military
told us was like their
genius
speed and whether or not they're moving, and then their little like bars and stuff. But it's not super clear. I imagine the UI's improved over time.
Oh yeah, much
And
better. Yeah, the new games now are very polished and great user experiences.
I was also watching an excellent video on YouTube from Game Maker's Toolkit channel, very much worth subscribing to if you're not, where basically they were talking about tutorials in strategy games and RTSs and all these, and city builders and all this kind of stuff, like these kind of more complicated genres of games, and how they're in a kind of horrible bind because they've got a lot to teach the player, whereas they also have like to teach it all at the start. Like it has to be like a lot of it has to be front loaded, like what you have to teach the player, because you can't really like only teach one system of the game whilst all the other systems in the game are
Only intervention by the Almighty or a military genius can
actually
bring
running.
victory from
Do you know what I mean? Like you can't in this one, like you couldn't just like pretend there's no money for like 100 years and then introduce money into it. Do you know what I mean? So it's because all these systems are working together right from the very start. The player has to be told something about them right at the very start, which tends to mean you end up with either like long tutorials, and often in these games a lot of just like reading shit and clicking on shit and it going, move you guys here, and you don't actually know why you're doing it. You just click and where it highlights to click. You know what I mean? So it's a really interesting video about how these like works, and in some cases it's one of these I guess like part and parcel of this kind of game. Like there are better versions of it and worse versions of it, but I think certain aspects are almost unavoidable. Though it was the TLDR of this like cool video, as it were, is talking about how like you can make better tutorial experiences by almost like threading bits of tutorial throughout. So have like gameplay tutorial throughout the game. Not obviously as frequent as I said there, but rather than front loading the learning part of the game, if you have an option where you don't need to teach the player a certain aspect of the game, teach them it as and when they need to learn it, rather than right at the start, if possible. In a lot of cases, it's not. Like I said, when the systems are all happening right from the start of the game, the player needs to know. But they did have a good example in a previous Civ game. I think it was Civ 5, where it was somewhat popular, but fans of the series hated it because it stripped back a lot of mechanics that were featured in previous games, and then these mechanics were reintroduced through DLC and expansion packs.
Right.
Which meant that the tutorials for these expansion packs and DLC were in the expansion packs and DLC, so you didn't have to bother with them. So it meant less tutorial when you were playing the core game. Now, whether this is because they just wanted to sell it, break down a game and then sell bits of it back to you, which is an increasingly common practice, I don't know what their motives were. But if they were financially motivated, then it was probably that. But if not, then they've come up with a very good way to break up the tutorial.
Cool.
So, there are ways around it, but it's not always unavoidable. So you've got to kind of just show your player everything in a complicated game like this. And I know we didn't on the streams. We didn't do this. We didn't do the tutorial because what's cracking on. But when I played it, it is a lot of like, can I just play the game? But then also, then if they let you do that, you're like, I don't know how to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think my second playthrough will be like a world, like worlds apart. I think in most of these games they will be.
Yeah, once you've figured out how it works, and
Well, I think you don't figure it all out until you've finished your first campaign in most of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Dread to think how many campaigns it took me of XCOM 2 to finish that game. Though that was my crowning achievement of first lockdown. Finally beating XCOM 2, not even on a difficult setting, just beating it. Because I played it in the Iron Man mode, you know, where it auto saves all the time, so every decision is final, which I think is like amazing. I think like almost all games should just have that, like just so you can never just reload a save and try it differently, because I do not have the self-control not to do that when there's an option. I don't often like, you know, save and reload, but you often find, like, you know, in Skyrim, before you go into a cave, you're like, I'll just save here, because I can't remember the last time I saved. Have a quick save, which means you can basically just have as many goes as you want going into a cave or, you know, a dungeon or whatever. Whereas having that option taken away from me with a game like XCOM, I found it like really exhilarating. It makes every decision is so much more impactful, and it makes those like 90% misses so much more frustrating. But I think that like brings, you know, you need the rough with the smooth. So
but also,
you don't,
you spend time building the character up, and then they get killed. It means more, because you're just like, oh, you have to start again. You gotta. It's like every decision has a lot more weight to it. So. Much better.
Exactly. And I think, but you need that. You need the, like, in a game like that, you need the losses, and you need the horrible moments where you were like, that shot was a certainty. How'd he miss? Because it's still just the RNG. You know, it's still just the RNG messing with you. Obviously, if you did that shot 100 other times, 90 times, it would hit. But you got that horrible 10%. That's how probability works.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed. But that doesn't make it any less frustrating when you're like, I picked that shot because it had a 90% chance of hitting. And now I'm a mug. Now my entire plan has fallen apart because it all hinged on the fact that this guy could make his 90% shot. But then you just have to like roll with the punches. And for me, like, that is so awesome, because it makes like the game like life. Do you know what I mean? You don't get do-overs. You can pick yourself up and dust yourself off, you know, but you don't get like that initial opportunity again. If you you know, whatever opportunities, you might get an almost identical opportunity, but you won't get that one again. You'll still have that failure that you can learn from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about Don't Starve Together as well. When we've been playing that. Like, every time we get a little bit further, and then the game just like whomps us, and that's it, game over. It doesn't let you just reload from like 3 days earlier and pre-prepare. You've got to, like, you start over and go back to the start and give it another go. And it's so frustrating the first time it happens, when something new you've never seen before just comes and like absolutely whoops you, and then it's game over. But like the second or third time you see this challenge and you overcome it, like, the feeling is so much better, because you've kind of got that like bit of bile, you know, that little bit of bile dedicated to that beastie that killed you or something like that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you need that venom, that spite. Because if it was just easy, then I don't think you'd get as much out of it. And even if it was like fairer, the unfairness, I think, like, spurs you on. So I think certain games need to be like wholly unfair.
I guess being called Don't Starve Together as well. It's not like it's like, oh, this is going to be a relaxing afternoon of playing this game.
And I think, but that's the whole thing. You want, obviously, I don't always want a game that just seems wholly unfair and just like kicks my arse.
Joe, look at this guy's name.
Pope Grim the Warmonger. that is doubling down, isn't it?
And he's the Pope.
He's not. Yeah, no, he's not even. He's not
Oh,
even
that's
hiding his
fantastic.
intentions, is he? Bless him. Relations worsened. Is that with the Pope Grim
I
the
don't know,
Warmonger?
because oh yeah, no,
I think we
he
might get
doesn't
more.
like us at all.
He probably doesn't like anyone. But
No,
on the
we're on
plus
the verge
side,
of being
he might.
excommunicated here.
Oh, is that because our both our kings died on the way to a cheeky crusade?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Not doing anything particularly unreligious, I don't think. But whatever.
No.
This game has just been.
Wait,
No one's
this
liked
has
us at
been
all.
an unrelenting campaign.
I
No,
know.
and did we get Alexandria back? Did that work out? Sorry, I can't
No, because
remember.
King Hugh got asked to go on a crusade, so I sent him off, and then he died. So I'm like, I'm leaderless over in Cairo. I need.
Yeah.
I don't really want to risk leaving Cairo. Plus, the size of the rebel army in there is absolutely humongous. So, I
All right.
don't really know what
As
to
to
do.
all those question marks are actual units.
Yep.
Alright,
And I don't
so
have
you
like an elite army here. It's all like bog standard
Scrubs.
crap, yeah. Because this isn't a.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to just hold on to Cairo for a bit over there, I think, and we'll see.
Hope for the best.
We will see. But I reckon if I attacked France, no one would be too upset. Well, to be honest, I want to
Just like
attack.
we
What? You
were
know what I'm
like-
gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go on the offensive for a little bit here.
Ships ready.
Just move in and chin the French.
Yeah.
Or are we getting that boat boy?
We're gonna get that boat next turn. You know what, as well, we're gonna get some boats down here. We're going boat crazy.
Just get the navy on the go and really. Because if they can't get to us, then would that not give us like
Your will, sir.
less fighting to do on land, and then we'd have.
We have marched our limit
You
today.
get what I mean? Like if we can consolidate the British Isles by having a strong navy, would that not give us more opportunities to build up an army? Because the army won't be implicated in fighting all these attackers because the navy's dealing with them.
Maybe.
Or am I just talking out my arse? Like
They might find
Sure.
it more risky. I mean, I don't know why they keep they've just landed another like tiny little. Look at this. What is
Battle will resolve our differences.
3 of them.
these three
that
against?
the
All right, you know what I'm
Dane?
gonna do just to take the piss.
Just go chin them. That'd be proper funny if then a second massive army landed round the corner and took Nottingham.
Victory.
There we go. Another one.
You
down.
just auto.
No
auto
point in
chin
fighting
it.
that one.
Honorable
Make sure don't leave the door open in Nottingham because we had this with York and some buggers went and took.
No, I went back. Right, sank them. Gonna come
Yeah, so
round
if we can
here.
just like keep people off the British Isles, I assume there's not a setting for them to like defend it. You're gonna have to keep an eye out for each of them in.
Oh, you're joking
them.
me, man. How did we lose that?
No further this day, sire. Ships ready.
Edward's gonna have to get on it.
Right, it's alright. I'll just put them both back in the port next turn and then heal them up. And then we're going to take the big army in Nottingham. We're going to go take Bruges. That's what we're going to do. Sick of these Portuguese thinking they can just come over here, taking our jobs.
Well, they can't this week anymore. Been down to. Sorry, Portugal, you're no longer on the green list. They went. I didn't
So
realize.
who took the Danes?
Does that make them pally with the Pope as well?
I think the Pope might be Danish.
Yeah, I think he was. He was. If not Danish, he was definitely Scandinavian. Grim the Warmonger.
Yeah, I mean it sounds Viking.
Good name though.
It is. What do you want to call the
Be
kid?
funny if-
Grim? Yeah, Grim's a good name. Let's call him that.
Hail,
No
my
connotations or anything to go with that.
sire.
To be honest, I think I feel like Grim might just be like an unfortunate name that like means something really nice over there, but doesn't
He fancies this, like.
in English.
He fancies it. He didn't run away.
Yes, sire.
Is this
I'm going to show him
Siegfried?
the error of his ways.
He's about to.
About to get a pasting.
Oh, well, this is not unrelated. Grim Nordic names. Yeah, it is a Nordic name, and it's from. See, I'm just going. Oh man, hope the definition isn't in German on this website. I found Grim is a given name in Old Danish, Old Swedish, and current Swedish and current Norwegian. And let's see what it means. Oh, Old Danish and Old Swedish name deriving from the Old Norse Grimmer, meaning grim, cruel, and atrocious. Brilliant. Hey, all right, so they
And
just
he's called the
went for it. They're like,
Warmonger as well. That's just fantastic.
well, to be honest, I mean, if you're gonna give your kid the name Grim, which means the same for them as it does for us, then I guess you may as well just make that surname the Warmonger. That's a shame. But if he was a Afrikaner, the name would mean God of Life, which is much better than cruel and whatever. Cruel, grim, and horrible, as it means in some of the Scandinavian languages.
These yeomen have definitely got an upgrade on their outfits, don't they, compared to these longbowmen? Yeomen on the left.
Yeah, the yeomen, if I recall correctly, I learned last time that yeomen were like light landholders, weren't they? Oh, these guys are having a bad day.
They are...
This is Daniel Powder
smashed.
levels of bad day going on here. The yeomen were like small landholders, so they weren't like quite lords and that, but they had they had a shed or something. So these ones are doing all right if they've got some swanky armor. It looks like they already had a bad time before they even got there. Are they about to have like the worst time?
They're not going to have a great time.
You don't even really need to be like an expert of the game to just see. Oh, that guy went flipping flying.
He did.
You don't need to be an expert of the game to just see these guys are about to get chinned, like good and proper.
Yeah, they don't have
It's
any
gonna be
spear
just-
units, so I'm just going all in with the cavalry attack. Yeah.
Our men
Can
are
you
winning
like
the battle.
activate them into super duper? Oh no, you said that like in later games the charging became better, but here it's just a bit.
It's a bit...
I mean, it works. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah, the charging in the new games looks fantastic.
They
People
actually just like
flying,
run
the
circles around
physics
them
look
and
great.
flatten them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that guy's still. You know, there's still guys getting like flung all out of the shop. Like,
These guys must have some pretty crazy armor because they've been under a fair number of arrows right now, and they're still...
The enemy
They haven't even run away as well.
a coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his
It's a lot of arrows coming in.
yeah, that's.
The enemy army
Oh,
flees
they're gonna fire back. Oh no, they changed their mind.
Yeah, they decided
They were
to run
about to
away.
fire back.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
chase them all down and kill
They-
them all.
I think they pulled their bowstrings and were like, no. It's the bowstring equivalent of doing a Yorkshire accent. They're like, I thought about it, but I'm going to change my mind. It's just not worth it. It's not going to end well.
Alright, let's Benny Hill it. Oh,
No,
go Benny Hill now. Dee, there we go. Whee!
you might need to maybe load up the Benny Hill theme into the stream decks, whatever that's called. That technical thing for next time, and you can just fling it on. Just have a Benny Hill button. We could with bots. We could use or plugins or technical shit that I don't understand.
Are they gonna get him in time?
Is it,
Oh,
oh, they went the wrong way around.
Oh.
Pathfinding was shite. Do you get away?
By the victory
Did?
we
Look
have
Is that
at
him?
here
Zoom in.
today.
Oh no. Oh, never mind the
there
battle.
he is.
Yeah,
He got
I was
out.
hoping you could just like watch him run off this never-ending meadow.
He got out. He
Yeah,
got
he snatched
smashed though. He's gone home to tell his mates like, don't fancy England anymore.
The Danes are easily scared, but they'll be back
Oh.
and in greater numbers.
Day is ours, sire. Sire, as you wish, sire.
Day is our day.
Oh my god. Let's kick this guy's ass.
Bah.
Ours, sire.
That was a noise he just made.
That's
Hail, my
a lot of these
king,
days are ours.
assembling a mighty host of your troops, sire.
Alright.
Warped Dev agrees that the Danes will be back.
They will be back, annoyingly.
They've not really left since like
No.
1080.
They've fancied it for about 200 years so far. They haven't taken it yet, but they've fancied it. Apart from that one time, which will go unmentioned.
At the time we left the door open at York and they just walked in and took it.
Yeah.
You are
Bless them.
weaker than I, and you know it.
All right.
Voice acting in this is incredible.
It is fantastic.
In your life.
It's just hammy as hell, isn't it? And that's neither a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it depends how much ham you like in your.
Oh, who's that? Who am I attacking? Who's like neutral? I can't see because the bloody. Oh, right, no, it's all right. Don't need to be doing that. Sorry, mate.
Swoop around them mothers.
Let's retrain though.
Is that like upgrading them into?
Just getting the
newer
numbers
crack on?
back. They've suffered a little bit of damage, but Davy of Amesbury,
Hail my king.
I reckon he's going to cross over
Has he
and
got all
take
them
some Bruges.
all them stars?
Hail my king.
He likes hailing as king as well.
Yes, you
He
wanna
likes
say- you wanna hear it
hailing the
again?
king as much as.
Hail my king.
One
Yeah.
more time.
Hail my
Go on.
king.
All right, once more.
Hail my king.
Cheers, Davy.
I wonder if Davy loves hailing the king as much as that other fella loved having days.
Oh, the day being ours.
The day is certainly ours.
Oh yes, got rid of
Did you
him.
just kill a priest?
Blasphemer was executed. A priest
So-
killed a priest.
Was he actually a blasphemer, or is that kind of like you just get to be a blasphemer if you lose? If you get me, because that's just what they say. You know, it's like witch hunt. If you when you kill a witch, you're not going to say, actually, you know what, she wasn't a witch.
No, there was a renegade
blas-
priest there.
Oh, so he was actually like out and out being like, I am a blasphemer. It wasn't just two priests like having a fight and being like, nah, he's not a proper priest.
Yeah, no, this was a
Real
heretic.
I am blasphemer. Oh, is this a spy dude? Oh no.
Are you joking me? There was an 81% chance of this succeeding.
You just got XCOM'd, mate.
No? What are you talking about, man? You got away at least.
Excommunicated. Wow.
Bloody useless, you, mate. Oh, he's lost some of his skill.
Oh, so he's not deed. He's just.
No, he's just freaking useless.
Does he just nash off now that he's
No,
be able to
he's
throw a
right
dagger
here.
at someone because he forgot to look slightly to the right before he threw his dagger, and then some
Yeah,
people
he's
came
like,
down the street
I'll
and
check
alerted
to the
us.
left. There he is. And throw the knife. Whoops-a-daisy.
And just assume there's nobody to my right, and oh god damn it again.
Oh, man, there's soldiers and witnesses and everybody's to my right now.
I hope they've got featured on a Russian content farm YouTube channel.
What on earth is a Russian content farm YouTube channel? Has it got anything to do
Maybe
with
it's a
farming?
Maybe it's a Russian content farm, and it's just a YouTube channel filled with happy farms. Like, there's just all these chickens, like smug-looking chickens, being like, "We are content." But I'm gonna assume it's content. And does that mean featured or just stuff stolen? Is the big question. Because
Me lord.
like, I guess content farm is a lot like, like with Lad Bible and all that kind of crack on, where they just take stuff that isn't theirs.
They've built a huge
Make it
business on
really
the back
famous.
of that.
Yeah, and
They do some reasonable stuff now, which is their own stuff, but they
yeah,
stole
but
a lot
it's
to
kinda
get them there.
stinky. Yeah, it's just kind of stinky where it's like, you know what, you could have even included like the credit to what you've taken. All right, Wolf Dev says this isn't quite the same. The games of the week can give credit, so it's not stolen. Right? Okay, that's
That's more
cool.
like
It's not
curated
like-
stuff then.
Yeah, that's similar to what we do, but our Russian's terrible. No,
We'll have to spread the word of the Lord.
but you should be doing that all the time, Jimmy.
Doing
Obviously.
it anyway? What are you talking about, man?
But no, that's
Spread,
cool.
Can it spread it any further?
Hail my king.
Ooh, here we go.
What
We'll take Bruges.
what
To battle.
what did they feature? Warp Dev. Let us know. Drop a link.
We
We'll
shall prevail in
we'll
this
give you
unsweating
a cheeky shout out.
You are weaker than I.
But
You know
it just says you don't have to call me Lord unless you really want to. Call anyone Lord. We don't have a feudal system here though, so I guess we don't need lords.
I'm thinking about introducing a feudal
Lords and
system
ladies.
though.
To the Indie Bandits feudal system.
Yeah.
If we ever did like a Patreon or something like that, would we have to make it like all the tiers, like levels of medieval
Yeah, so
feudal
it'd be like
society?
serf, then yeoman, and then knight
Lord,
or lord,
lady,
lady, and then
duke. Archduke.
oh, they'll go through all the cool ones like viscount and baron.
Oh, that'd be good. But
It would make no
I'd-
sense, but it would, be fun.
no,
Oh, is this
no, I
still
did
going?
wonder about that if we once we've built up enough of a following that it would be right and proper to ask for money. Which
It is
will
only right
probably-
and proper.
Yeah. Did wonder what kind of clever tier names we could have. And I don't know, because a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that, like their stuff's like really clever. Like the channel I watch on like city planning has all their tiers are like different sizes of settlement, from like hamlet to metropolis kind of crack on. So that's your tier. So you can have like, town, village, not in that order, but you know what I mean, like village, town, city, tri-state area kind of thing. Like they've gone, obviously, because it's thematic for their channel.
You are
there's, like,
having
loads.
a laugh.
What?
Have you seen where these jokers are? I'm down
It's
there.
like, when you see the footage of like a random mountain goat and it's just like up on the side of the hill and you're like, how did it get there? This is gonna have to be.
I'm gonna
Yes.
fast forward this. They're
Hill.
coming down the hill. I'm not going up there. You lunatics.
It's like if you see someone across the way, like if you're like walking down the street and you see someone on the other side of the road, and you're like, no, I'll come to you. Stay there.
Yeah.
Because you both end up crossing the road at different points.
Oh,
and then
you
on the
wanted to
opposite
meet
side.
in the valley, not over the valley. Right. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, I thought you
we've
meant
climbed all the way up here.
precariously positioned
Yeah.
over the top of this cliff.
Our bad. Sorry
look
about
forward
that.
to- Our Deb says they're recording a screenshot Saturday clip in a moment, so I'll be sharing that with us tomorrow. Excellent. Yes, because don't forget that tomorrow is Screenshot Saturday. It's in the name. But yeah, we retweet and wishlist all the stuff as well. It's always good to have I think screenshots. Screenshot Saturday tends to be bigger than Wishlist Wednesday as well, and I think that's mainly just because it's the weekend. I think more people are on their socials and stuff like that. But I think a good screen is does a lot. Like for especially for indie games, I think it's important that people like can see your game. I know that sounds like really stupid, but you see a lot of people saying like my game's this, and this, and it's all very like theoretical and it sounds cool, but you kind of like, come on, sort of like pictures or it didn't happen kind of crack on. Like, you can tell me your game is going to be this, but even if it's like early doors, you kind of want to see some like proof of concept, don't you? And I think that's really what like entices people, at least for me. Like, I guess, I'm sort of like probably like more of a kinesthetic learner or visual learner. Like, I'll remember a picture much better than something I read. Some people will not forget something they've read, so like a description of a game, a bit of a blurb will stick in their head. But for me, like a good picture or a good video, there are like so many there's so many games that we see, obviously, like through Indie Bandits, like, see about, at the minute, like Wishlist Wednesday and Screenshot Saturday get about like 100 replies. It's like, like I see like 100 potentially like 100 games, 200 games throughout a week, even more now that we're doing the Monday Fund Day, which is easier to type out as a hashtag than to say, but you know, you see a lot of stuff, so good visuals will stand out. You know, stuff doesn't need cutting edge graphics. Like, I don't see someone and go, oh my god, that guy has like a million wrinkles on his face and it's like photorealistic. Like, a good aesthetic will, like, for me, will stick in my head.
Yeah.
So like Warped Out says, it's important that people can see the game in motion. So I have to grin and bear Twitter's crap compression.
Our men are winning the battle.
That's true. You can also like include
Smash the enemy.
like links through to your stuff, but I think photos and videos work really well on social media in general, even with like, you know, even with like the compression and the like photo quality, etc. It doesn't, in a lot of cases, it doesn't matter because what it's competing against is tweets and messages without any of that. You get me? Like, it's your poorly compressed video
Enemy general has no
is
honor. He flees the
is
field
just as
of
poorly
battle.
compressed as anyone else's video on the platform. So you're only competing with other tweets that have videos in them, and they all have the same quality of video. It's not like some people can get like a super special, you know, a 1,000,000 super duper duper HD version of a video on their Twitter. So, you know, you just need your stuff to stand out, and it's pretty much a level playing field at that point. So it's, you know, it's better to have a video than not have a video. It's better to have a picture than not have a picture or a screenshot. And also like a direct
Half the enemy force remains.
reply, at least for like the stuff we're doing, a direct reply is pretty good rather than like a tweet embedded, because when I go through and like retweet the stuff, if it's like a tweet that's embedded, then that's what it appears like on my you know, on our feed, which we send out to everyone. So like a direct message with the video on it is much better, because that gets immediately just like translated over to our followers.
Mm-hmm.
So like you want it to be like punchy and just like, you know, this is the game, this is what it's about, here's the video, like X game is X, Y, and Z, and here's the video. And then obviously when we pass that on, that's what people see.
Day is ours, sire.
So like I'd suggest when people, at least, you know, at least for us, when people interact, it's better to send us a direct message rather than messaging us and pointing us in the direction of another tweet, because it just doesn't look as good. It's not as attention grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's still better than not doing it. You know what we try and do with like Wishlist Wednesday, Screenshot Saturday, is literally just to use just use the you know, the small audience we have
Hail my
of
king.
people who are interested in indie video games, just to give them that nudge, because I think
I'm just gonna order
marketing
this one.
marketing is very important, especially for indie devs, and it's not easy. It's not easy for them to do, but it's like a consistent effort
Gods be praised. He has granted
is
us
going to be important, because I think a lot of people just ignore their marketing or think it'll do it itself, essentially. But yeah, as Rob said, it's like it's not like a huge problem if people send like an embedded tweet, but you just kind of need to think about what like the tweet's going to look like when we retweet it on, because you know, I'm not adding anything to it, because I want that I want whatever marketing message you put together, that is just going to be sent directly out to our followers. So, you know, I'm not going to cry if someone doesn't like thank me at the start of a message, which is, it's very nice. There's a lot of people who like interact with Screenshot Saturday and like thank us for doing it, and etc., and they're like, thank you for doing it, here's my game. Like, you don't need the niceties. Just be like punchy message with your game, because that's going to go out. Like, this is your little like, this is your 15 seconds to get someone's attention, so you can just go like, I'm not going to find it rude if your like reply to us is X game is this, check out the video, boom, there it goes. Send that, you know, we send that out to our followers. That's what they see, because they don't have time to read, these accounts being nice to us. Like they don't want to see that. So, you can just get to the point, because that's what indie devs need. They need like as much exposure as they can get. So there's nothing wrong with being short and snappy in like replies, especially replies that we're going to pass on.
Yeah.
It could make the difference where if it looks more like an announcement, people will read it as an announcement. Whereas if if it looks like a reply to us, I feel like a reader might skim over it, because they'd be like, oh, that's just a conversation between two accounts I follow. I don't care, yada yada yada, and like brush past it. So punchier the better with any kind of marketing message, I think.
Took Bruges, by the way.
Yeah, you auto it.
I did, because we were like hugely the massive advantage. It would have been a waste of time doing that one.
Yeah. And the Danes have got Antwerp. Who did this belong to beforehand?
Okay, I'm not allowed to fight Portugal. You know what, right? How come Portugal are allowed to constantly attack me? And
you can't
no one gets anything. A second I'd just give them a little bit of a spanking back. It's like, oh, you can't do that. That's mean.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't feel this game's been very fair to us anyway. But
don't feel like it at all. Ooh, 95%. I'm having him. He's going to be assassinated. Let's watch. This will be the last. I'll kill him, maybe, and then
98%. It's not even.
You're going to set fire.
What's
Oh,
he
you're
doing?
joking me. He's been spotted. 95%, and he's been spotted.
He is.
He's hopeless, this fella, isn't he?
I think he's hopeless at percentages.
It's like, how confident are you about being able to do this? Oh, really confident, mate. I'll get this done, no
%.
problem. Don't you worry about that. All right, okay. Off you go then. Well, it didn't work out as planned. I didn't check my surroundings again.
I forgot to look for those two guards who may have followed me from the last guy.
What a numpty. Right, well, that might be a good spot to call it. We've got Bruges. We've finally broken out of the UK.
Indie Bandits back in Europe.
Yep. Oh my god, the
Euro
number of
trip.
rebels keep popping up every 2 minutes. Yeah, and we're going to go take Antwerp next and probably go after a bit of France after that. So, good. Finally managed to get out.
No,
Felt like we were doing a bit of
been a
attacking
long,
in this
hard
one.
slog.
I know. Yep. So, thanks everyone for watching, for joining us on the live chat as well. If you want to, I guess, engage with Indie Bandits a little bit more, you could follow us on Twitter, YouTube. There's a Discord for indie devs and indie game fans as well, which is really good.
Yep.
Facebook, I'm assuming we're on Facebook as well.
We are
All over
We are,
the place.
but Facebook's for old people now.
It is, yeah. It's more Twitter and
it's-
Discord now, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I mean, we're still there on Facebook if that's your bag. If you use Facebook and want to be informed of stuff that we're doing, but the Facebook feed's more of just what's going on the website. But the real engagement happens on Twitter and the Discord.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Whoops.
I keep you on your toes there.
Yeah.
This is why we do these streams, so this kind of shit won't happen when we're doing proper indie games and that, when we're trying to show off your games. This is why we do a practice stream. But yeah, as I was saying before, I was rudely cut off. I feel like this is me.
Take
Oscar
the hint,
speech,
Joe.
You've just you've ramped up the music. Head over to Twitter to get involved with the stuff. Screenshot Saturday will be tomorrow. Monday is our new thing, Fun Day Monday. That's fund as in crowdfunding. So if you know anyone who is looking to crowdfund their game, either through Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or one of these time-dependent crowdfunding platforms, then make sure you keep an eye out on our Twitter on Mondays, because we'll start. We've just started featuring those projects in a new monthly article series, and on Wednesdays it's back round to Wishlist Wednesday, where same kind of crack on. We'll drop the tweet if you want to just include a reply with your game. We'll retweet it and wishlist it on our accounts. And then on Fridays is when we normally put our articles up, and we'll tag everyone featured in any articles. So if your game has been featured, you'll get the alert on Twitter. And soon, starting in July, we're looking to start streaming indie game demos from our demo disc articles. That's our first upcoming project, I guess. So hopefully people can start getting a little excited about that and letting us know if they've got demos we can feature in the demo disc articles that we put out on a monthly basis as well.
Cool.
And now you can cut us off, Jimmy.
I'm going to cut you off right now.
Excellent.
Thanks again for everyone for watching and for joining us live. We'll be back again next week with more live streams, and you can catch up with us on the social channels in the meantime. Cheers.
See you later.